What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel. Now today, we're going to be bringing back a series that we haven't had on the channel in quite a while, and that is going to be Taking Them to School. Now, if you have not seen a video in this series before, I'll go ahead and throw that up in the iCard above, but basically it is a two-parter where the first episode we build the team with a guest, and then in the second episode we take that team on the live ladder and see what we can do with this little team. So today we are going to be joined by the same guest who actually did this with me the first time, and that is going to be Matt G.
What's going on?
So Matt's been on the channel quite a bit, and he has been the only person to do this series with me, and I thought it'd be awesome to have him back. So we're gonna go ahead and try to build a little team here for OU. So one thing that he told me, I asked him right before we started recording this, and he said he wanted to use a kommo-o. So we've got the very standard kommo-o here with the Clangorous Soul, Clanging Scales, Flash Cannon, Flamethrower. The throat spray set, it's very strong. It's very good. So that's why we're using it. Basically it. So anyway, we are going to see what we can do about building out the rest of this team. So we need a few things, right? So one, we need something to do with Dragapult, because Dragapult is kind of a problem. Now we are faster than it if we can get set up. So at +1 we are faster than it. However, if it's scarfed, then we're not going to be able to deal with it, which is rough. So that's a thing. Also, Fairy is 4 times, hits us for 4 times super effective, and Clefable is kind of a thing. Clefable's really becoming a lot more prevalent nowadays, so you do have to watch out for that too. So, let's see here.
So in terms of dealing with Dragapult, would we need to go for something that will outspeed it if it's scarfed?
Well, that's the thing, is that you look at its speed and it's base 142. There isn't anything that fast.
Yeah.
At least not without like the speed boost ability or whatever. So we're gonna have to priority. We're gonna have to find something with priority. So that's just something we need to keep in mind. Whether that's something like a Mimikyu that has Shadow Sneak. So like a Swords Dance Shadow Sneak set could be a thing that could work. We could run Dugtrio with Sucker Punch. What else? Bisharp also gets Sucker Punch. It's a great Swords Dancer as well. It gets Defiant, which is really nice. So those are really good. Trying to think what else this set doesn't deal with, and that's what we need to really hammer out if we're gonna have this sweep. Yeah, Clefable kind of gives us some issues, but Flash Cannon hits it for quite a bit of damage, so if we can just weaken it down a little bit, then we can deal with it. Yeah, so what were you thinking as far as, like, out of those mons? I think those are pretty good partners, actually. We got...
No. Let's go with Mimikyu, because I've literally never used Mimikyu ever.
Mimikyu. Also, Mimikyu just deleted our kommo-o, so that's great.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll bring him back. So anyway, we've got a Mimikyu here, and I think our Swords Dance set is going to be the best thing for this. And we definitely have to bring Shadow Sneak here. If I can spell Shadow Sneak, there we go. Yeah. So basically, what this does is this is just going to allow us to deal with that pretty easily, and then probably for the other one just bring Play Rough just for coverage, and fast he's a good boy, and then Life Orb. So yeah, let's bring this set back with Clangorous Soul, Clanging Scales, Flamethrower, and Flash Cannon. All right, and just the standard set is good. So yeah, these two help cover each other's weaknesses pretty well. Now we do not have like a ghost resistance, so yes, we can deal with it like this. This also helps us against Scarf Gengar, which is somewhat common right now. This gives us an answer for what is that thing called? He just brought Obstagoon. We're 1 point faster than Obstagoon, as long as he's not Scarfed, and typically he's not. And then we can Oko him with Play Rough at +2. So that's a cool thing. It helps us deal with Crawdaunt. Crawdaunt just moved up as well. So this helps us with some of the new tech that people are trying out on the ladder. So I think he's going to be really nice. But obviously, Excadrill kind of beats him, but kommo-o beats Excadrill. So, you know, we've got one for each. So that's pretty cool. So we need to be looking for like a Ghost Resist. That would be nice, or even a Ghost Immunity. That would be optimal. And we can totally dip down into UU as well. We don't have to use all OU.
So you said a Ghost Resist.
A Ghost Resist would be nice. Probably something a little more tanky. Probably just not something as offensive necessarily. Let's see. What could we run as a Ghost Resist? Grimmsnarl. We could run a Screens Grimmsnarl. Screens Grimmsnarl would allow kommo-o to set up. It would allow Mimikyu to not take as much damage after Disguise is broken. So that's a thing. And then it could run and then it can just run an attacking move. But it gives us a switch into Ghosts. Let's see. Hydreigon switches into Ghosts pretty well. Just not Hydreigon, or not, what's it called?
Dragapult.
Dragapult, yeah, that one. Mandibuzz is a good resist. Mandibuzz is always a good mon. Obstagoon is immune to Ghost, which is good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the only normal type, because Ditto doesn't count, in OU, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, he's the only naturally, he's the only normal type outside of Ditto, but he doesn't count. Yeah, we also have anything down here as well. We've got like Braviary, but I don't think Braviary is going to be all that great unless you want Defog. Yeah, so what are you thinking? What are you thinking? I feel like there's some good options here.
Yeah, let's go with Obstagoon.
Obstagoon, let's go. All right, so this is going to be a really cool, just like powerhouse core here. So we're going to run a Flame Orb here with Guts, and we're going to want to run. So there are a lot of different options for Obstagoon. Like, he's got so much good tech. So I think what we want to run is, you definitely want Knockoff, you definitely want Close Combat, and you definitely want Facade. Those are just awesome coverage moves. The last move is a little more up in the air. So you can run Obstruct. So what Obstruct does, it's kind of like King Shield. If the opponent touches it, it's -2 defense rather than attack.
Okay.
Parting Shot works like U-turn, except it lowers their attack and special attack instead of doing damage. You've got Taunt, but that's probably not as good here. You've got like other coverage like Thunder Punch, Shadow Claw, Seed Bomb, Ice Punch, Gunk Shot for fairies. Yeah, there's a bunch of different options here. So I'll let you choose this last move, because it's kind of the coverage move of choice here. Also, it deleted my kommo-o again.
Weird. For coverage,
honestly, or just utility.
Yeah.
Either way.
Parting Shot sounds pretty cool.
Parting Shot is cool, and not a lot of things get it, which is good. All right, I'm putting kommo-o back in here, and he's not getting deleted again because you boys just pressing the wrong buttons. So Clangorous Skull. So obviously we do it live here on the Dapper Snapper channel, as you can see. It's fine.
Authentic content.
It's totally fine. Flash Cannon. Okay. I'm pressing the big plus button so it doesn't do it again. Okay, so that's a cool offensive. That's a really cool offensive core. But yeah, the normal typing helps cover the ghosts. And yeah, this is a cool offensive core. I like this. So let's see here. It'd probably be nice to have some hazards of some kind. Hazards are always good. So something with rocks or spikes, sticky webs, anything like that would be cool. We could run something like Excadrill with rocks and rapid spin to get rid of something they set up on our side. We could run something like Corviknight with defog. A lot of other things get rapid spin and defog now. Let's see what else gets rapid spin and or defog. Mew gets everything. Rotoms don't actually get defog yet, which is interesting.
That is interesting. You'd think they would.
Well, they do last gen, but it's a move tutor move, and so they will once home drops, but they don't have it yet.
Gotcha.
Araquanid has Sticky Web and Water Bubble, which is a busted ability. Bronzong has rocks. Claydol has rocks. Caporaja has rocks. Corsola has rocks. A lot of rock setters.
Water Bubble do?
So Water Bubble is really good. Water type moves are 2 times power and you can't be burned. And fire type moves against you are cut in half. It's such a good ability. Yeah, it's really good. Araquanid is just super slow, but webs is really good, and like webs are really good right now.
Yeah. Do you think it being so slow would put us at a disadvantage?
Well, I mean, he serves a different purpose, right? He's there to set webs, and then even with that 70 attack, a liquidation coming off of a water bubble boost is actually insane. So no, I don't think that's gonna hurt him at all. We could run like a bulkier set, which could be interesting. Not very standard for Araquanid, but I think it could. I think it could work. But like, look at his special defense.
Oh boy.
Yeah, his special defense is very good. Just his HP is kind of lacking. His regular defense isn't terrible. But we could run like we can run a max HP set, and then run it with Sticky Web on that if you'd like to run that.
That sounds good.
Cool. All right, so Water Bubble for sure. Water Absorb is a good ability, don't get me wrong, but it's just not as good.
Right.
So we could run lefties or we could run a berry. What do you think?
Lefties is never a bad option.
Lefties is never a bad option. You heard it here first. So we got Sticky Web, obviously, is a thing. Now, one thing we can do is we could run something like Scald just to get burns to weaken things down. And so basically it seems like our strat here is set up webs, weaken them down just enough, and then bring in like these heavy hitters and just kind of clean up, you know? So let's see. Sticky Web here. We could run Scald, like not so much for damage, but for burns. Or we could run just all-out offensive otherwise and run something like Liquidation and Leech Life. What do you think?
I'm thinking maybe Liquidation and Leech Life.
Okay, Liquidation, Leech Life, cool. And then the last move we'll run is... because Leech Life gives us healing, which is cool.
Right.
Last move we'll run Crunch. We've already got some stuff for fairies and all that, so I don't think Poison Jab is necessary. So let's run Crunch here, and we're gonna run max HP, max attack. Yeah, we've got the Sticky Web tech as well as some offensive stuff as well. So yeah, I think that's cool. I like that. So what else do we not have an answer for? So we're pretty good on like Hatterene doesn't like knockoff, or Shadow Sneak or Shadow Claw. It doesn't like Flash Cannon. That's pretty much covered. Aegislash doesn't like Flamethrower. Bisharp doesn't like Flamethrower. Cinderace is kind of frail, so it kind of dies to a +2 Clanging Scales, I'm pretty sure. I think we can deal with Clefable well enough with something like Mimikyu. Yeah, I'm just kind of scared about Clefable. That's honestly my fear right now. Dracovish... is slower than us after we set up. And it dies to a +2 play rough if we can get that off. What else do we need here? I feel like we should get, like, at least get one Scarfer here.
Okay.
And get some, like, switch momentum, just so we can always stay ahead. So, like, U-turn, Volt Switch, Parting Shot. We've already got it with Obstagoon, but it'd be nice to have another Mon with that kind of utility, you know?
Yeah.
So let's see. What do you think as far as, like, having that as well as being a strong special attacker? I know you may not know right off what gets it, but
yeah, I don't know.
As far as OU, Cinderace gets it. Corviknight, I'm pretty sure Corviknight gets U-turn. Dragapult gets U-turn. Grimmsnarl, I don't remember if it does or not. Hydreigon gets U-turn for sure. Mandibuzz gets U-turn. Pelipper gets U-turn. These get Volt Switch. Toxtricity gets Volt Switch. Yeah, I think that's it. As far as, like, having momentum.
Let's use Cinderace.
Cinderace. Alright. I did it again.
Oh.
I did it again. I need to quit doing that. Okay. Let's recreate this real quick.
Yeah,
With the Sticky Web, Liquidation, Leech Life, and Crunch. There we go. Cinderace. Okay. So Cinderace has a few options here. He's super fast, which is good. He's a lot faster than, like, other stuff that we have, even though it's, like, fast. Cinderace is really fast. And Pyro Ball hits incredibly hard, so that's going to already be up. Guaranteed. So, I wish we could run Libero. It's such a good ability. But, so we could run a couple of different things. First of all, we could run Court Change. What that does is it takes all hazards and swaps them. So if we were to not be able to get Sticky Webs up and they set up, like, rocks and stuff against us, then we could swap them back to the other side of the field. Or if they got rocks up early, we could swap them over and then set up webs on top of that. That's a thing. I have seen other people. Now, one thing that does kind of suck that I wish was a thing. So Obstagoon gets Defiant, right? So Defiant raises your attack by 2 stages if a stat's lowered, but it doesn't work if you set up your own Sticky Web and then Court Change it onto yourself. I wish it did.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. You just lower the speed and that's it. You don't get the attack boost.
Dang.
Yeah, it can't be self-inflicted unless you did it against a Hatterene, like something that's Magic Bounce, because then it counts as the opponent doing it to you.
Okay.
So, way too situational. But we could do that, or we could do, like, a Choice Banded set. That's my favorite set, honestly. And that also gets Sucker Punch, which is good for priority. So secondary form of priority is always good. And it gets U-turn. Yeah, so we've got some options here. We could also run it Scarf, just so it's always naturally faster than Dragapult, even if it's just timid or whatever, you could be faster than it, and they wouldn't expect that. That's a thing. But if you have Sucker Punch, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I think we should definitely run Court Change.
You think Court Change?
That sounds super good.
Alrighty. We will run Court Change. So, we'll run Court Change, and then I think Sucker and U-turn, and run it just like this. As far as the item goes, I think Life Orb's probably good. Yeah, but this just gives us some utility. We have to make sure not to Court Change our own webs back onto ourselves.
Right.
Don't do that, and don't let me do that.
Okay.
So, don't let me do that. Okay, so...
Only Court Change their stuff.
Only Court Change their stuff. Like, if we can't get webs up in Iraq when it dies, or they get stuff onto us early, we can Court Change it over. Actually, right. I'm not going to do Life Orb. I'm going to run Heavy Duty Boots on this. because that way you can switch in on rocks and not take that damage.
Give my boy Cinderace some J's.
Yeah, man. He's got some cool shoes. Look at that shoes. Those are his
Yeah.
soccer shoes. All right, so last mon. I kind of am thinking like a choiced mon, and a special attacker, because we've got a lot of physical attackers on this team.
True. So
Because this is pretty sticky web hyper offense here. So I think we need something like fast, hits hard, special side, just to make sure that we've got enough coverage. So we've got things.
So they've gotten rid of Dynamaxing.
Yep, no Dynamaxing.
But G-Max is still there?
No G-Maxing. No maxing of any kind.
No big boys.
No big boys, no.
Because I was like, why don't we run G-Max Charizard?
Yeah, no, we can't.
Yeah.
Big rip.
Because we want a special attacker.
I think a special attacker would be good here. Anybody that you are thinking of here?
Let's see. So we've got. Because I don't want to use something that we already have covered.
Right.
Do you have any suggestions?
Scarf Gengar is always an option. Scarf Hydreigon is an option. You've got Scarf Rotom is a good thing. Scarf Toxtricity is actually somewhat unexpected. People don't expect you to bring that. Let's see. Scarf Chandelure is a thing, but it's a little slower. What other? Heliolisk is a cool Scarfer, actually, because he's pretty quick. Inteleon's lame. Shell Smash Poltegeist is a thing, but you have to be really careful about hazards. Yeah, those are your, you could always run Specs, Weezing, which is interesting, but I think we're going for more speed on this,
Yeah. Let's do a cheeky Scarfed Heliolisk.
Cheeky Scarfed Heliolisk, let's go. Alright. Yeah, so Heliolisk is interesting because he gets Dry Skin, and so he allows us to switch in on water. So he allows us to switch in on water moves, and he gets healed a quarter of his health on water moves. So that's a cool immunity. It helps him to synergize with Cinderace. You also could run Solar Power, but since we're not running a Sunsetter or Dynamax kind of thing, then we're not going to use that. But I think we're going to run a Choice Scarf set, because he's already base 109 speed, which is pretty fast, but he's not faster than Cinderace. He's not faster than Gengar. He's 1 point slower than Gengar. He's obviously not faster than Dragapult. So I think having a Scarf here is pretty cool. We're gonna run Volt Switch as our first move because Volt Switch is basically gonna be required. T-Bolt for coverage is good, and Surf for those fire types trying to take advantage of your Dry Skin. And then I think so we can run Dragon Pulse. I think Dragon Pulse or Dark Pulse would be good, or Focus Blast. One of those three.
Maybe Focus Blast.
Focus Blast it is. All right. So, without any further testing, is this what you want to do? You are more than welcome to change any member, change any move set, change EVs if you'd like to. Whatever you think. Or if you're happy with this team, we'll keep it.
Looks pretty good to me.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. This team looks pretty good. So, in the next episode, we are going to be taking this onto the live OU ladder, and we're going to see if we can't make this team put in some work. So, thank you guys so much for watching this first half of Taking Them to School Part 2. And, yeah, you got anything to say before we head out?
I'm excited. Let's get it out there.
It's going to be cool. So anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow for the second half of this episode. Hope you guys are excited. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.